Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I got a piece of Fatwood here. I was gonna make some coasters with, but it kind of broke off, so I decided to make two ferro rod handles, excuse me. I keep saying that. I'll get it one day. But anyway, this video is, and I'm gonna say it like this: to sand or not to sand Fatwood. I thought you could sand all wood. I know that Fatwood is sticky. It can get very sticky. This is a pretty sticky piece. There was some sticky areas over here. And on top of that, I'm cutting completely against the grain. So, anyway, when I started turning, I just sanded it like any other wood. And, yeah, I ran into problems with it, where it would gum up some on the sandpaper. It would gum up in areas, especially in the valley areas and stuff. It just gum up around there. And then I decided, well, I'll use some alcohol and that'd get it off. And then, you know, it would sand the piece up pretty good. And then I started using some of those green scrubby pads, 3M. And they were working very well and shining up, but the only other problem I started running into is it started leaving a little green on the piece of work I was turning. So I decided, you know, that's not going to work. But you know what? This is like steel wool. So I remember years ago we had some steel wood. We had some steel wool that either my brothers or my mom got, or dad or somebody, and never was used. And I thought, well, you know, they use that for sanding. Let me get some steel wool. So I went up to Lowe's and got some steel wool. And hold on a second, let me get it. So I got the that red square right there. I don't know if you can see it, the red square. So I got steel wool that is 1 on the coarseness of it. It shows the coarse grade, and that's why I use to sand it down. And then I use the fine steel, which is says fine. It's the 4 zeros on there. So anyway, and a lot of times I don't even use the fine one. I just go along with the coarser one, and it works very well. The Fatwood stickiness and stuff gets caught up in the steel wool itself, and it doesn't cake up on your piece of work, and it still shines it up very well. Now I will use some sandpaper, like in these areas here is a little rough. And it's not going to be able to sand down very well because I'm going completely against the grain to get this beautiful design. And so the wood is just it's pointing straight at me and the camera with the grain coming out. So it's rough, but I've done several pieces like this and it works very well. So anyway, I just want to present that question to you. It doesn't make it right or wrong. If your Fatwood may be different than mine, whatever part of the country you live in or world, and it might be stickier than here in the South. I've come across some pretty sticky pieces, and so far I've been able to sand it and make it really shiny and smooth. So anyway, I shaped the piece and I shaped the end. I'll have to turn it over. I'm fixing to sand it. I need to use a little regular sandpaper here because it's pretty rough. in there too. Okay, here I go. I'm running out of sandpaper. I gotta get some more. And I usually use 220. I mean, you can use whatever you want. I'm just telling you what I use. It doesn't make it wrong. You know, y'all are, there's some smarter people out there that, I mean, you can take the skew and smooth it out, but when it's going completely against the grain, you can't really do that very well. And unless you're a professional, you probably can. I'm not a professional, so. So as you can see, I sanded my Fatwood with sandpaper. Like I said before, it doesn't make it wrong if you don't. It doesn't make it wrong if you do. You might, like I said before, and I don't mean to repeat myself, but I just want to make it, you know, clarify a point that, you know, whatever you want to do with your stuff. So anyway, we'll just get back to this piece. There's a couple of more areas I want to touch up a little bit with sandpaper before I use steel wool on it. There's a couple of lines over here. I don't know that I could get it with the skew or not. Just be careful when I'll fold it some because, and I put it at a higher speed, it can get quite hot very quickly and start burning your fingers underneath. But yeah, it brings, you know, sanding brings out the beautiful swirls and stuff of the wood, and they're more amplified. So let me get to this piece and finish. There's a little rough area over here I need to sand just a little bit. And the reason why I sand it some, I'm running out of sandpaper. The reason why I sand it some is because the steel wool has a harder time of really getting a really rough places. let's see what it looks like. Okay, I really don't have any gummed up pieces on here, and this had some sticky areas on it earlier when I was working on it, okay? So it's not like it was a dried up piece of fatwood. So anyway, I'll move it back and forth a little bit. Just be careful with the steel wool, because especially when it's not used yet, it has a tendency with these long strands hanging out. It might get caught on your tailstock cone or something, and then it'll wrap around there, and you got to stop the machine and get it off. I've had that happen a few times, so I try not to get too close to it if it's on there. And just be careful with it. But anyway, I'll move back and forth, and it just keeps working with it and shining it. See how shiny it is? Ooh, it's hot too, so be careful. Don't touch it. Anyway, it's very nice and shiny and smooth. So yeah, at least my fatwood, you can sand it down very nicely and beautifully. And man, some of the colors right here near the lines right there looks like gold. That is just gorgeous. Wow. But anyway, the sanding helps pop the colors and bring them out to the surface much better. There was a tiny bit of resin trying to seep out over here. That's funny. Anyway, I got to do this in, and I just wanted to share that with you, and in hopes that if other people need help, or they don't know, or maybe they've never tried this method, or maybe they do know and their fatwood you just can't sand their fatwood. I mean, I don't know about everybody's fatwood. Every piece of fatwood is different. So anyway, I sand mine here in the south, and It makes a beautiful piece. So as you see here, I went ahead and smoothed it out very well. I'm trying to figure out new methods. I did use some linseed oil on there and tried to use that lubricant to smooth it some more. It did make a little bit of a difference. But anyway, it's very smooth. It's not as smooth as some things can get, but I just play around with a few things. There's a little area right there that needs to be smoothed out some, but anyway, I'm going to leave it like it is. Okay, so now I'm experimenting also just pertaining to sanding. So today I watched some more videos on things, so I'm just trying to, you know, it's wood also, although it has the resin in it. There's some woods that have resin in it also. But anyway, I'm going to, I smoothed it out best I could. I put some sanding sealer on there. And if I have to smooth it out a little more, I don't know. I don't think so. And then I'll put some polyurethane on there instead of the clear glue. I'm going to try that out. But I got it pretty smooth. I really do. I'd love to get it glassy smooth, but I don't know that I can do that. Anyway, so I'm going to try that out and see. Alright, we're going to see how it does with the polyurethane after I've sanded it. It's not glassy shiny like I'd like it to be, but it's pretty good. And it sure does bring the colors out. They pop some. This is a piece of, little tiny piece of the pork belly fatwood that I have. And I didn't want to waste it, you know. That fatwood is just so rich with resin, and I just, you know, even though it's just going to be a little handle, I mean, still, I mean, it's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that line. Looks like, I don't know, looks like a trail. It's very beautiful wood. Okay, and now I'll have to turn it over and do this end. Okay, I turned it around on my tailstock. I haven't tightened it yet. Like I said before, if you just decide to use this method because you don't have a chuck that holds smaller things, just wrap, you know, either a work towel around it, fold it 3 or 4 times and wrap it around there so it's wide, round enough that you can put it on there. Now I actually got the idea yesterday, or last night should I say, of getting some rubber and cut a long strip and wrap it around there. I think that might do even better. I don't know. I just don't want it to stick on there or something. Just little things that I'm testing and experimenting with to see what works. But anyway, I line up the tailstock. I already have it sanded. So all I have to do is just put the polyurethane on there. There's a little bit of slight areas there I might touch up. Pull it out just a little, and then I have to tighten it down on there. So that towel compensates for, you know, it being so small, so it compensates for the room, the gap. So it fills in the gap between your piece and the chuck jaws, and so that you can actually have it hold smaller pieces. And it also protects the wood so that the clamps don't make marks and scars on it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of fine sandpaper in this area. So as you can see, I got this piece pretty much finished. I mean, it might can get it a little smoother. There's a gorgeous little piece of wood. Look at that. It's very nice and shiny and smooth. So anyway, I shine my Fatwood. I'm sure some other people do too. Okay. I just wanted to show you the finished product. I redid this. I had made it several weeks back. So I resanded it some, smoothed it out a little better. I made the handle a little bit smaller. I decided to try some polyurethane, and look, she's really shiny. She's shining in all her glory. So anyway, I just wanted you to see that as far as I know, you can sand Fatwood. So that right there, I didn't smooth out as much as I probably could have to try to close that hole up. I did close it up. It's just dark right there. But anyway, it's just a simple little ferro rod handle, and there's the hole, and she's absolutely gorgeous. Let's see if I can. Just trying to see if I can get it in the light real good. It's hard. So anyway, I just want you to see it. Very beautiful satin colors. Look at those lines. And they look kind of see-through a little bit. So that's just gorgeous. I wish I could get it as shiny as glass, but maybe there's something I'm missing. Because, you know, I have a lot to learn. I don't know. I'm just experimenting and learning.